Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Davey Dangerously coming at you once again. This time, Ring Crüe, episode 12. It's been an amazing ride. Thank you, everybody. This is our end of 2015 episode. We're going to cover a lot of things in this episode.
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a long one. It's been a crazy
year.
Get
some snacks, get some drinks. It's going to be a long one.
Kick off your shoes.
Absolutely.
Take off your pants.
We're
not wearing any right now.
We never do. It's been a crazy year for wrestling. A lot has happened this year. We've been to a lot of great shows. There's been a lot of reason to talk shit about wrestling. There's been some scandals. There's been a lot of great things to talk about, and that's why we're here today. We're going to do top picks of the year. Things like promotion of the year, moment of the year, tag team of the year.
And there's been some great ones.
Female wrestler of the year.
Female wrestler of the year.
Wrestler of the year. Match of the year. And we're going to look into the future. We're going to get in that DeLorean. And we're going to go to 2016 and who to watch in 2016. So I say we just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's just forget about all the BS. Let's go to promotion of the year. I will kick this one off if you guys don't mind. Promotion of the year, we're going to pick 3 for each. So I'm going to say...
Well, he is.
I don't know if I have 3. There's one that really stood out to me, so tell us your 3.
Hey, this is our show. We wrote the rules. We can break them.
We can break them.
Do whatever we
want.
want.
Do whatever we want. We run this town.
Right? Our bitch right here.
Promotion of the year, I'm going to go with number 1, NXT.
Oh.
Hands down. To see a lot of the great matches they've had, the live takeover specials. I like how there's not 12 in a year. Like, I love my monthly pay-per-views, but it's nice to have 4 in a year.
Yeah.
Build up those storylines.
Exactly.
So yeah, NXT. Number 2, Ring of Honor. I think there's been a lot of great matches, a lot of great stories, a lot of good things happening in Ring of Honor. Just starting to get on network TV, so we'll see how that pans out.
2 networks this year.
2 networks, oh goodness. Pop TV, look for it on your local channels. And number 3, I'm going to go with Lucha Underground.
Nice.
They have taken the sport of wrestling to a whole new level, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the fact that it's, season 1, season 2. Great storylines, great wrestlers. Our guy, Brian Cage. Our guy, Jeff Cobb.
One more guy?
Chavo.
How could I forget Chavo? So those are my top 3 promotions. No offense to WWE. We all know you're the top tier, but I gotta say, NXT, Ring of Honor, and Lucha Underground.
Good solid picks.
Making great strides.
Yeah, Rated R, who do you got?
See, I didn't pick 3. I chose 2, but you mentioned my 2, and I would have. I love NXT. I think that NXT should be showed on USA and Raw should be showed on the network. I really feel that way right now. I mean, NXT to me is just, they're going above and beyond with everything. I mean, they're a great promotion. Triple H is running the hell out of it, and it's going really great. And then my number 2 pick is Lucha Underground. I'm a huge fan of Lucha Underground. I love what they're doing. I love the character of Dario Cueto. I think he's awesome. Brian Cage, our boy Brian Cage. Chavo Guerrero, and if ever you're in Fresno, come look us up. We'll barbecue.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio just signed into the fold. Yeah, I mean,
I'm really excited for season 2.
Season 2, I'm looking for, really. My DVR's already set. I'm so set for season 2. Netflix, Hulu, you need to pick that up and bring that because I want to watch that over and over. I'm going to be buying the seasons on Blu-ray. Yeah, those are my 2 top picks right there. I didn't pick... ROH is great. I love ROH. But those 2 right there just stood up above and beyond. You know, like Dave says, love to WWE. You know, they are the echelon. But these 2 groups are coming up. And I think that pretty soon, hopefully, Lucha Underground, will be on par with WWE. I can see Dario Cueto kicking Vince McMahon's 7-year-old ass. I would love it.
He loves violence.
Right? I want that bull for our Ring Crüe table. If anyone has that bull or knows where to get that bull,
hook us up.
I want that bull for my Ring Crüe table.
Alright, well,
what do you say, Danny D?
Promotion of the year, I picked 3, and I'm going to go 3-2-1 style.
Ooh,
so my 3rd pick is right here.
Oh, wow.
Pro Wrestling Gorilla, PWG. Number 3, Pro Wrestling Gorilla has always been a favorite of mine. They, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's California indie, you know, like you get to go there and watch it, so that's why it's a favorite. But, you know, it's not a California indie. It's an indie that shows, that spotlights the best indie wrestlers from around the world.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's guys coming in from England, Germany, Mexico, you know, Canada, US, all over the place, you know, and it's the start of many guys' big, it's their big, you know, spotlight for their career.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys like, you know, El Generico, Kevin Owens, you know, Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens now got their starts there and got their first looks there, you know. Guys like William Regal are going down there, and watching PWG and seeing these guys, and now look where they're at now, you know.
Look at the history books of PWG. You got, you know, Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, CM Punk,
CM Punk,
Samoa
AJ
Joe,
Styles, Samoa Joe. List goes on and on.
Joey Ryan.
Yeah. So PWG is my number 3 right here. Number 2 is gonna go to you guys talked about it already, Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground. Right now, it really is the best wrestling television show.
I agree.
They have just like these compelling, interesting, different stories. They have awesome characters. I love the season finale, how each character, you know, rode out like Aerostar, flew into space, and Drago, you know, morphed back into a dragon and flew off. You know, these.
If you guys haven't seen that last episode of Lucha Underground, that Vampiro and
we'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But just great characters, great new, refreshing. You know, like just it's all new, fresh and new. You know, for wrestling fans, and it's been great, and I love it, and we look forward to season 2.
I can't wait. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, and my number 1 promotion of the year. We're saying, you know, much love to WWE. This actually is part of WWE, but it doesn't feel like it's part of WWE.
It doesn't.
My number 1 promotion of the year goes to NXT. It's great. I mean, consistent, great matches every week. They're great at making new stars. Guys, I love that we get to see the build of characters. Guys like Dash and Dawson, who, you know, started off losing matches to bigger guys, and they've worked their way up. You know, like Bailey was losing matches and working her way up. You know, these guys who we see start at the bottom almost and work their way up. It's a good underdog story. Gives you something to root for. And, you know, it's the place to be. You know, right now they got Finn Balor just celebrated his 1-year anniversary there. Finn Balor from Japan, Samoa Joe, Apollo Crews. They just, you know, got guys like James Storm from TNA who, you know, chooses to go over to NXT.
Gargano.
Ryan, what's that?
Gargano.
Gargano and Ciampa.
Yeah,
these
man.
guys are. It's
They're
the place
beasts.
to be right now. It's everybody wants to be there. There's
Blue Pants?
there's rumors of
Rhino.
there's rumors of Austin Aries being
Oh,
backstage.
see, I heard
So
that.
who knows?
I'm
You know,
looking forward to that one.
Coming up in 2016.
Good old A double.
Who knows who's gonna show up in NXT? So that's my promotion of the year, NXT. What do we got next?
All right, let's jump to it. Moment of the year.
Oh
Nice.
man.
What's
All
your
right.
There's lots of great moments.
There's lots of great moments. Me and this guy went to WrestleMania. That was just like a dream come true. So
I cried.
We cried. He broke his spleen. And 2 of my moments are gonna be from WrestleMania. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1 since you know that's how you're gonna do it. Number 3 is the entrances at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There were so many great entrances, just like the Triple H with the Terminator and Sting with the crazy Japanese or Chinese whatever, and
Bray Wyatt with the
scarecrows, Rusev with the tanks.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome. I think that, I mean, just WrestleMania itself was great, you know, DX, NWO, but the entrances kind of just took it to the top. Number 2, Seth Rollins winning the U.S. title and becoming a dual champion.
Oh yeah, that was
I
cool.
think that just propelled his push to the top. Seth Rollins is awesome. He had an awesome year. It's too bad he ended it on a sour note. But, you know, winning the U.S. title from Cena, no less, was great. And number one.
I think I can guess what your
Number one was Seth cashing in WrestleMania. That should have been the Slammy OMG moment of the year. That was just awesome. He broke his spleen. I got goosebumps. We have the picture. It was great. Those are my moments of the year. What about you?
I have a couple moments. You again mentioned one since you're talking first. You're gonna say mine all the time. Seth Rollins.
We're gonna have a few.
Oh yeah.
Seth Rollins cashing in that Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. That to me was awesome.
Yeah.
He stole the show. I think ending it with him, holding the belt up, and it just I thought it was great. The fireworks in the background. I thought that was a great moment. I marked out on that moment. And then I only chose two. Again, I don't know. I don't have numbers. I go against the grain. I'm sorry. I'm the bad guy. There was a match that we were at live that wasn't televised. That we went to go watch in Atwater, Fighting Spirit Pro Wrestling, and it was a match between Sway Thompson and Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah.
And oh man, Sway Thompson is a character in himself. I love Sway Thompson. He's great, and he's getting this lock on Thatcher where he's got him turned around. He's gonna try to put Thatcher's arms up to make him dance. And
Thatcher don't dance.
Thatcher does not dance.
Thatcher don't dance.
Thatcher turns around and literally just headbutt the shit out of him. It sounded like a slap.
I will never forget the sound of that. We were sitting front row. You guys were recording.
We were recording the show. Yeah, I have it on tape. Actually, I have it on my phone. Hopefully, we can filter that in. That headbutt, that literally made me like OMG moment right there. I was like, holy shit! Like that stopped me in my tracks. I was looking at the fans. I was looking at you guys. I was recording the show, and I right when I saw that, I don't even remember if I put the phone down or what, but I was like, whoa! like that. That's how it sounded. And Sway Thompson took it like a champ. And
that was a great bump.
That was a great bump, and that made me that was an awesome moment to me. That was a cool moment, and like I said, it wasn't televised. It was an independent show. Timothy Thatcher, I believe, NXT's got his eyes on him, and so I'd like to see him. I would love to see him, and even Sway Thompson. Shit, he's a great guy. I think he's a great guy. Follow him. So no, I mean,
no, that just goes to show you, for a moment, for you to have a moment of the year. From an indie show that's not even televised.
Yeah, exactly.
Support indie wrestling, guys.
Support indie wrestling.
Grow your indie wrestling shows. You're going to see moments of
future stars.
Could see moments of the year there.
Mm-hmm. And that to me stood out above everything else.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if because I was there. I don't know if it was the atmosphere. I don't know if it was just
it was a great
the smell of sweat in the air. What the hell it was? But that match was a great match, and it made me say "holy shit" out loud. So here I am saying it again. What about you?
Moments.
Well, I took lots of notes here. I got lots to say. There was so many great moments of the year, moments of this year. I got a couple honorable mention moments. I think the start of the Divas Revolution was awesome. Despite where it went, it's not as great as we thought it was going to be. But for that moment, for them all coming out on Raw, that felt like something fresh, something new. It was great to see the women get the spotlight. Yeah. Next one, honorable mention would be Vampiro revealing himself as Pentagon Jr.'s master.
That was so cool.
That was such a cool, unexpected moment. We're going to talk about that match a little more, but that was awesome at the end. Kevin Owens powerbombing Cena, stepping on the U.S. title and lifting the NXT title. Awesome.
Talk about heat.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I did forget about that. Damn.
And then one moment that was awesome for me, being there, seeing it live, and it just the 14-year-old me was peeing my pants when NWO and DX came out at WrestleMania. That was awesome. But those are just my honorable mentions. This is my number 3.
Can you do that? You can just do that?
This is our show. I told you. We break the rules.
I'll flip this table right now. I swear to God.
We break the rules, all right?
All right, let's do it. Break the rules.
You know what? Okay, let's go right here. Number 3. Number 3 moment of the year for me. The return of Super Dragon to PWG after 3 years and forming Mount Rushmore 2.0.
You got it?
A costume change?
These guys. Right here, baby.
What?
Right here. Super Dragon.
Super Dragon.
Awesome. It was awesome. Super Dragon is like the hero of PWG. Everybody loves him. the heels were just being dirty, nasty fucking heels and kicking ass, and lights go out. Who comes out? Super Dragon.
Man, I love when lights go out.
Lights go out, Super Dragon's out, everybody's expecting him to come and save, you know, the good guys, the faces. And what does he do?
Heel turn.
He turns it. He flips it on
love
him.
it.
He takes out Knox, he takes out Joey, he takes out Candice.
I love a good heel
man,
turn.
it was awesome. Rushmore 2.0, one of my favorite heel factions. So that was my number 3 favorite moment.
I was there when he got the shirt. We'll get into that later.
Number 2, Sasha Banks making Izzy cry. Sasha making Izzy cry was like the best thing she could have done. I mean, it was October 7th at TakeOver Respect. Sasha and Bailey having their Iron Woman match. Awesome match. But Sasha for being, you know, she's loved and she's being cheered for, and she's not supposed to be cheered for. She's the heel, so she needs to do something to make these people hate her. And what's the best thing to do to make somebody hate you?
Make a kid
cry, right?
Make a kid cry.
Sasha, for me, just totally, I loved her after that.
Cemented her into
into
your heart.
Yeah, and she
Gets you in the feels.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was awesome.
Oh, brother.
Unplanned, unscripted. You know, just off the cuff.
Didn't she take her bow off?
Yeah, she ripped her bow off. And
I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
You make me want to watch it again
she
because
ripped her
it
bow
is a great
off.
moment. That is a great moment.
She mocked Bailey, mocked her in the ring, mocked Bailey. That was awesome. So that was my number 2 moment
That's
of
a
the
good
year.
one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I forgot about that.
And my number 1 moment of the year we just discussed, but we were there live. We had the goosebumps. Something happened to me inside. I don't know.
He jumped.
But Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Never been done.
Changing the game with the
Never
briefcase.
been done during a match. You know, coming out and putting himself in the
Right,
match.
was into the match, yeah.
At a WrestleMania main event, nonetheless.
Double history.
And so it was.
That's
awesome.
the kind of shit that'll make you hug a stranger.
Yeah.
You turn to the guy next to you, you don't even know the guy. He probably stinks like ass.
I
and you're
chopped
gonna
the guy.
hug him. Yeah, you're gonna high five and you're gonna hug him and you share that moment.
He shook me, I shook him, and I chopped it.
Yeah, so Seth Rollins cashing in is my number 1 moment of the year. So
That's a good
let's
one.
move on.
Man.
All right. Tag team of the year. It's been a great year for tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
It's been revitalized,
Big
if you will.
resurgence, yeah.
I guess I'll start.
Start it off.
I'll go 3-2-1. I'll go 3-2-1 like you because that's how you do it. So I'm gonna go Gable and Jordan from NXT.
They're doing great.
Those guys are great.
Ready, willing.
And Gable. I think those 2 guys, Jason Jordan was a great wrestler, is a great wrestler. I think he was just kind of running stagnant in NXT.
Yeah, he needed something.
He needed something, and that something was Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Chad Gable, Olympian, great wrestler, great amateur wrestler.
Totally legit. Like,
Oh, yeah. He
Legit shooter.
With one hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those 2 together are money. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Dawson and Dash and Dawson are the champions right now. I think Jordan and Gable are going to give them a run for their money. So we'll see what happens. Number 2,
I think I kind of know.
the Young Bucks.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Our guys, the Young Bucks. We love the Bucks. We had a chance to see them at PWG All-Star Weekend. Besides seeing them there, they're awesome, tearing it up.
Did you guys catch that on YouTube where they super kicked the kid?
oh yeah.
That was
Oh,
great.
They super kicked
God.
the kid. They super kicked Santa.
They super kicked everybody. It's a super
They
kick
super
party.
kicked Elmo at their kid's party.
Oh, man,
Oh,
that's
man.
fantastic. Those
It's
guys.
a super kick party.
I think the Young Bucks in New Japan, PWG, ROH can't be stopped. And number 1,
He's your number 1.
New Day. How can you not go? How could the Usos win Slammy
Right?
up for Tag Team of the Year?
Right.
They didn't wrestle half the year. That's a work.
That is a work
work.
because Jimmy or
Sorry,
Jay, whoever who
that's
broke
a
their
work.
shoulder was gone for 7 months. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Exactly.
You should be in the ring longer than you were out for injury to win a Slammy. So, what can I say that
New Day
has
was
not
robbed.
already been said about the
Yeah,
New Day?
exactly.
I think it's everybody's number 1. So, what about
And
you?
exactly. That's. I didn't choose 3 again. I chose 1, and that's New Day. There's my top 3: Big E, Kofi and Xavier, and throw in the trombone. those guys stole the year. Those guys were given a shitty gimmick at first. I mean, New Day with a choir, and everyone's like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah, what kind of shit is that? I don't know. But for them to take the ball and just run with it, and Big E in his dance, and Kofi and he's. What did he say the other day? You would beat a child?
I will beat your
I will
children.
beat your children? That's money. I have no other top team. Maybe because I love them, Enzo and Big Kaz. Maybe.
Oh, how could I forget them?
You forgot them. That's when I looked at you and I said I thought you might know. I thought for sure. How you doing? I thought you were gonna say so.
That's my honorable mention.
Enzo and Big Kaz, you're up there. New Day. You took the.
Okay, guys, we're back. We just had some kind of weird camera malfunction.
First time ever.
Happened.
It's the end of the year.
Man.
So forget that camera. We got a new camera. We're back. Let's pick up where we left off. You just said your Enzo and Cass was your number 2. So let's jump to me and my number 3 tag team of the year, Enzo and Cass.
Can't go wrong.
Those guys have been good. They're progressively getting better every week. Like I mentioned earlier. I met a guy Mania weekend from England, and he said, we were talking about Enzo and Cass, he said that he couldn't relate. He didn't know anybody that looked like that, didn't know anybody that talked like that, didn't know anybody that dressed like that, and he just felt like it wasn't ever going to get over on a worldwide basis. Sorry, dude, I think you're wrong. Enzo and Cass have totally
Take over London, prove that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We got everybody chanting along,
Yeah.
And you can't teach that, their catchphrases. Everybody's going along with them.
Yep.
And they're just as popular over there as they are over here.
Across the pond.
They're good. They're only getting better. They proved that they can be serious ass kickers recently.
Absolutely.
So that's my number 3 tag team of the year. My number 2 tag team of the year, you mentioned a little earlier, my boys, the Young Bucks.
Super Kick Party.
A lot of people talk shit about the Young Bucks. They say they're spot monkeys.
Vanilla
spot monkey.
Vanilla spot monkeys.
All they can do is super kicks. You know what? I got 2 words for those guys who hate on the Young Bucks.
Oh, wait a minute.
Another costume change.
There we go.
Suck it. Right there, baby. Young Bucks are, I think, one of the absolute best tag teams in the world. They kill it in PWG. They kill it in New Japan. They kill it in Ring of Honor.
Self-made superstars.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
They single-handedly bridged the gap between Ring of Honor and PWG. PWG wasn't allowed to use guys from Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor was bitching about it. They were making guys sign contracts. And they said, hey, if you want us to sign a contract, we got to still wrestle for PWG. ROH wanted them so bad, they signed them. So now we can still have guys like Adam Cole, guys like Kyle O'Reilly, guys, all these guys in PWG.
Bobby Fish.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the Young Bucks, So it's like, these guys are bigger than, I don't want to say bigger than wrestling. But
they're transcending.
But they're transcending, And like I said, people talk shit about them. But honestly, the Young Bucks don't give a shit.
No,
they're obnoxious and they know it.
You're gonna buy the shirts.
You're gonna buy the shirts.
You're gonna put cash in their pockets.
Are they gonna have toys made?
Yeah, they do the super kicks, and they just don't give a shit. They just do what they do. They know who they are. They're confident. They're skilled, highly skilled wrestlers, and they're my number 2 pick for tag team of the year. So
Nice.
Young Bucks. And my number 1, you guys already called it, New Day. Nobody's better than New Day this year. Great in the ring, phenomenal on the mic. I mean, they've completely took this. What's the saying? They took chicken shit and made it into chicken salad. They took this.
Never even heard that one.
Yeah, they took this gimmick that was God knows what awful gimmick, and they made it their own. They've gained confidence. They've gained. They're just using their own style and everything, in their matches, and honestly, they kind of don't give a shit either. They kind of have that attitude where
they're kind of rebel.
What's gonna happen? Either where this is gonna succeed or they're gonna fire us. And
hey, they're 2-time tag team champions.
yeah, I feel the power.
Feel
the power.
I was a little suspect at first with the choir. I was like, this is very Reverend Slickish. But fire.
Yeah, I think their main event status now, I think Kofi has been close to the main event before. This just might be the thing that pushes them into that level. Or Big E. You know, Big E is showing a lot of personality, but he's still that badass ass kicker who started out. So he can get to that main event
The
level
Rumble's coming
and
up.
be a serious contender.
I can't wait to see Kofi in the Rumble.
Yeah, I can see,
he steals it.
I can see him as a serious contender. So that's my pick for the #1 tag team of the year.
Very nice.
You know what you didn't mention is you need to make the Freebird title. Remember that you had the 3 belts?
I'm telling you. How many times have I said this? Give them a 3rd title. Good Lord. I'm sick of that. You just give them a replica, for Christ's sake. Go to the stands right now.
Right.
Get them a replica.
Next time we go to a show, we'll have to pull our money together and get.
I'll throw it in the ring.
We'll throw it in the ring.
Wear it.
Give Kobe a belt. Give Xavier a belt.
All right, let's move on. Female of the year. I know it's been a hellacious year for the females in this sport.
Yeah.
All organizations. I'm not gonna pick 3 though. I'm gonna take a page out of this man's book, and I'm gonna say the 4 horsewomen as a whole.
Oh shit!
As a unit.
As a unit. Sasha Banks, Becky
it.
Lynch, Charlotte, Bailey. What can I say that hasn't already been said? They have taken it to the next level. Going back and forth through NXT. Bailey's still in NXT. She's the women's champion. Charlotte is the Divas champion. Man, Sasha Banks is the #1 diva in the world. I hate to say that word diva, but you know, I can't wait to see that butterfly belt around her waist. She deserves it. I'd love to see what happens with her and Charlotte. It's nice to not see the Bellas
As much.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, but it's nice to see that they're not the spotlight of the Divas division. Team Bad, awesome. PCB was kind of cool, but I don't know.
Cool when it started.
Yeah.
Cool when it started.
I think, you know, Paige is a great wrestler in herself. It'll be great to see what happens with that whole thing, but I'm going to say the 4 horsewomen
as a unit.
As a unit is my females of the year.
Good pick.
Good pick. I only chose 1, and I didn't pick the 4 horsewomen, but I did choose Sasha Banks. She's bad. Not to say because of Team Bad.
Beautiful ending.
But she is.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's on fire. I mean, like you said, stealing the you know, making Izzy cry and
that was heat,
right? I mean, everything she's been doing right now has just been she's been doing it great. I'm a huge fan of her. She's really talented. Sasha Banks.
Cool. So for mine, I got a couple honorable mentions. Evilise and Sexy Star for holding it down in Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah.
You know, kicking ass with the dudes. I got Emma because she has really upped her game this year. You know, she was the fun, bubbly character, and now she kicks ass in NXT. She's one of my favorites.
I agree.
And I'm going to kind of switch it up here. I had another person as an honorable mention, and I had Candice LeRae as my #3. I love Candice, and that's why she was my #3. But honestly, I don't think that Candice had the year that this person had. If this was last year, Candice would easily be my #2 or 3.
Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have played it ourselves. Next episode.
I love Candice. I think she's adorable. I think she's an ass kicker. I think she's awesome. She's one of my favorites.
Remember that kick to the chest?
Oh man, she just got kicked in the chest by Roddy. That was unbelievable.
With his shitty little tassels.
She's tough as nails. She's a little cutie. She's awesome. I've had the chance to meet her several times. She's always been great. But she's going to have to bump into my honorable mentions this year. And I'm going to have to go with #3. And this is probably going to surprise you guys. I think my #3 female wrestler of the year is going to be Nikki Bella.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She's had a great year.
She actually had a really great year. She was the champ for most of the year.
301 days.
301
Longest
days.
reigning.
Yeah. They had to knock AJ out of that.
See, that's why I think they're going to run with that.
But she excelled. She did good. You know, she got better in the ring. You know, she had some really great matches at the end of her run. Her and Charlotte had some good matches. I think she had a pretty good year. You know, she was voted #1 in the PWI Female 50, but whatever PWI is.
We still never did the PWI.
We never did that PWI.
Move on.
That's right. That's right.
So
Controversy.
Nikki Bella is my #3. #2 is Bailey, because who doesn't love Bailey? Bailey is
She's a hugger.
so over, like, right now. Like, people are saying she's the female John Cena. You know, she's gonna be. I mean, in a good way.
In a good way.
Yeah, no, I understand.
She can be the female face of the company.
Absolutely.
You know, kids love her, women love her, us guys love her. She's awesome. She's had so many great matches this year. Instant, you know, match of the year candidates.
Mm-hmm.
She finally won the big one, won the title, so that made her, gave her a good strong push in NXT.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that I wrote in here in my notes is that she does a really good job of making her opponents look good.
Oh, absolutely.
She had a couple matches this year with Eva Marie.
Oh,
she
my
wrestled
God.
Nia Jax, who's good.
I'd rather see her wrestle a potato sack than fucking Eva Marie.
She wrestled Nia Jax. Nia Jax is good. She's coming up, but she's not there yet.
No.
And I think Bailey carried that match and made her look great.
Yeah.
Ended up being a really good match. So
I could see Nia Jax being a really great heel.
yeah,
being,
yeah, absolutely. So Bailey's my #2 and #1. My notes. Was there really anyone else?
That's what it says. I just read.
Was there really anyone else? I mean, Sasha Banks, the boss. I mean, we all love her. She's unbelievable. She's so skilled in the ring. She has so much passion for the business. You know, I mean, you can see
And it comes through in her matches,
Yeah,
and
you
it
can
comes
see
through in her
it, you know.
promos.
Yeah. I guess I've been talking about her a lot this year because my wife really hates her now. So,
all of our wives.
Oh, you're talking about Sasha Banks again?
Yes.
Yes, we are talking about Sasha Banks again. I'm sorry, but yeah, Sasha was a phenomenal year. Not only one of the best female wrestler of the year, but one of the best wrestlers of the year. Period.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think we all agree. So Sasha Banks, #1, the boss.
The boss, the legit boss. All right, let's jump from the females to the males. It's been a great year too. A lot of guys have stepped up this year. I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go #3, Jay Lethal.
Ooh, good pick.
Man. Yeah, it's a
Good
great pick.
pick.
It's a great
He
pick.
is the world champion right now. He was also the TV champion. Jay Lethal's always been great. Always loved the Black Machismo character. But I think ROH has made him into the superstar that he was always meant to be.
Yeah, this year has really like made him.
Woo! Step up his game like no other. The House
Made him
of
a
Truth.
main eventer.
Yeah, main eventer. I think he's lost the TV title now, but he's still the world champ. There's not a bad thing I could say about Jay Lethal. I think he deserves everything he's getting. So that's my #3.
And speaking of NXT rumors earlier, there's also an NXT rumor about Jay Lethal, so we'll see about that.
And I heard that he really is pushing for it. I heard he really is interested in NXT.
I would love to see him.
Is he from Florida?
New Jersey, I think.
Is he
so.
Jersey? Oh, I think he's
Yeah.
New Jersey. That's right. Never mind.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go #2, Finn Balor.
Oh,
He's had a
good choice.
phenomenal year. Only been in the company a year, like Big Dan said. Those entrances, the paint, the matches he's had with Kevin Owens, the matches he's had with everybody has just been awesome. NXT champion, I love seeing him as champion. Hopefully he holds that title for a very long time. I would love to see him defend that title at WrestleMania 32 in AT&T Stadium. That would be huge.
That would be awesome.
I think if you're going to have NXT at the weekend, the WrestleMania weekend, need to be on that show because they're bringing people in to watch, and I think they need a spot on that show, my opinion. And #1,
I already know.
Seth Rollins. Come on, like he is, I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I think he's like the Macho Man Randy Savage of our generation, of this generation.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
Big words.
And coming from me, that's huge. But I think promo-wise, in-ring work-wise, him just tearing it up, him cashing in at WrestleMania was huge. Him winning the U.S. title was huge. You know, the whole thing of the heel running away and having the backup.
Yeah, playing the coward heel.
Playing the coward heel.
And he does it so great. He does it
so
because
great.
he's so. You want to hate him, but you're like
you can't.
You can't hate him. You're like, fuck, I hate this guy, but you're like, oh, I can't stop watching. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I have no choice but to say that Seth Rollins has stepped it up. And it seemed like when they were with the Shield, everyone thought like Dean Ambrose was like the guy. Don't get me wrong, Dean Ambrose is great, but you would think that the way they had them positioned, that you know, Dean was supposed to do it before Seth, but hands down, Seth Rollins has taken it above and beyond. I can only wait till next year to see what happens when he comes back. That's my number one. I'm sticking to it.
Cool. Good one. Heard that?
Ooh, man, that's a tough follow up.
Sorry, I had to.
I have three. I do have three. So every now and again, I like to play by the rules. My number 3 pick is Prince Puma.
Ooh.
In Lucha Underground, even though they have the seasons, even though, you know, they took a little, you know, it's not as much as these other guys. Prince Puma, also known as Ricochet, excuse me, had a great year. He is in fantastic shape. He's fantastic matches. I'm a huge fan of his.
His all night long match with Mundo was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that match right there was great. Also, I have Finn Balor. I'm a huge Finn Balor fan. The Demon, the Paint, like Dave says, his interests is. When his music hits, I stand up with him. I think that's fantastic. And then Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had a phenomenal year. Too bad he ended it the way he ended it. But like he said, he's going to rebuild and he's gonna come back and he's going to be stronger. I do have an honorable mention, and right now his name is escaping me, but I know his nickname is the Peacock.
Dalton Castle.
Dalton Castle. Thank you so much. Dalton Castle in ROH with his boys. I love Dalton Castle. I'm a big Dalton Castle fan. He's my honorable mention. But yeah, I got the threes, and I think out of those three, maybe Prince Puma stands out maybe a little bit above them, just because, like you said, the Johnny Mundo all night match. He was phenomenal in that. He was great. Yeah, huge match. Oh, and what was that guy's name? That was it. On Lucha Underground, where he jumps across the whole arena. Did you?
Angelico.
Angelico. Did you guys catch Angelico? Just that match alone made him. I was a huge fan of his. When he jumped from the top of that building to the ring and he flew over those. I was marking out. I'm an old man and I was like a little kid watching TV. I was watching that match and I was like, oh, my palms are sweaty now talking about it, you know, and that's not just because I'm fat. So, what do you think, Big D?
There was lots of great wrestlers this year. Like Big Dave said, a lot of guys stepped up their game. I got a lot of honorable mentions here. I mean, Jay Lethal's one of them. Finn Balor's one of them. John Cena is one of them with his Cena U.S. Open Challenge. Had a lot of great matches.
I love the U.S. Challenge.
Nakamura, Okada, Tanahashi just ruled Japan like the past few years. You know, those three guys have been awesome. Zack Sabre Jr. winning Bola this year. Pentagon Jr. in Lucha Underground. I mean, any of these guys would be good picks for, you know, Wrestler of the Year. Mm-hmm. My number 3 goes to...
Another shirt? How many shirts you got?
The leader of the Bullet Club, AJ Styles.
Ooh!
AJ Styles is my number 3 wrestler this year. Had a great year. Started off at Wrestle Kingdom 9. He beat Naito. Then the following day, he went and beat Tanahashi, who was the champ. They had an 8-man tag team match, and he pinned Tanahashi, so that put him in the title picture. Set up their match. He won the title from Tanahashi, so he was the IWGP champion this year. He teamed with the Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, for the King of Trios, and Shikara. Made it to the finals of Shikara this year. I had wrote notes here. He did so much. He had awesome matches in Ring of Honor. Became the #1 contender. And just last week, he took Jay Lethal to the limit. You know, he didn't win the title, but with a hurt back, you know, this guy's been hurt for a while. And nursing a back injury, and he still kicks ass every night. Flies just like he did when he was, you know, 21 years old. He's an older guy, and he's not slowing down.
Not at all.
So I think, and he has another great match coming up with I'm blanking. Nakamura. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 10. The match is going to be phenomenal. So
he's phenomenal.
He's phenomenal. Yeah, I didn't even mean to say that. So,
he's a great guy.
Number 3 is going to be AJ Styles. My number 2 is Seth Rollins. You guys' number 1 is my number 2.
I'm trying to look at his notes over here.
I know.
Yeah.
He's very particular.
Seth Rollins, number 2. Triple threat match at the Rumble. Cena and Lesnar.
Yep.
That was like his coming out party. That was his first main event.
Oh, yeah.
Really proved that he belonged there. Awesome match. Awesome match with Randy at Mania.
Step on his
Right?
head in the arcade.
I'm not a Randy fan, but it made that made me love a Randy match because Seth Rollins was in it. Of course, we talked about it several times. The cash in, which was unbelievable. He had pulled great matches out of Kane this year. Great matches out of Reigns this year. Wrestled Ambrose, wrestled Orton, had a phenomenal feud with Cena.
Mm-hmm.
First man to hold the U.S. title and WWE World title simultaneously. And the biggest thing out of all this is that he never lost. Never lost the title.
He didn't.
So he's going to
That's
come
right.
back and maybe he'll be the number 1 contender. Excuse me. And my number one wrestler this year, probably not going to be too popular. My number 1 wrestler this year is Roderick Strong.
Woo!
Yeah, Roderick Strong, good old Roddy and his shitty little boots. Roddy had a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Roderick Strong is really overlooked when it comes to people talking about great wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the personality of some guys, or he doesn't do the high flying of this guy, or this and this and this. But I mean, completely altogether full package wrestler. He's great. I mean, his backbreakers, he's known for his backbreakers. His finisher, End of Heartache, is one of the best finishers in wrestling. Awesome. I just wrote some notes here of some of the great things he did. He beat Kyle O'Reilly. That was actually in December of 2014. So he won the title in December of 14. He's been PWG champion all year long. Had defenses against Trevor Lee, Zack Sabre Jr. in phenomenal match. He beat Brian Cage and Chris Hero in a triple threat match. He beat Speedball Mike Bailey. He teamed with the Young Bucks. They formed I'm not wearing my shirt anymore. I forget what shirt I'm wearing. They formed Mount Rushmore 2.0. He just beat Matt Sydal at All-Star Weekend. We've seen him
At the Grill
literally kick Candice's face in, kick her chest caved in.
You should have heard the gasp. He kicked the shit out of Candice.
Yeah, the whole room went silent. Yeah. So he's an asshole and he loves it, and we love it. He had a phenomenal match against Okada in Ring of Honor, Field of Honor, and then he had just one of the best matches of the year. His 1 hour time limit draw against Jay Lethal. So I mean, Roderick Strong did wonderful this year. I mean, he had just an absolutely great year. I think he just got engaged. Congratulations, Roddy. So yeah, I mean, that was my pick for Wrestler of the Year, Roderick Strong.
Pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Let's get to Match of the Year. So many. So many. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start it off. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay. I'm going to say Guerrilla Warfare. It's my number 3, and that it's Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and the Young Bucks versus Speedball Mike Bailey, Chris Hero, and the world's cutest tag team, Candice LeRae, and our guy Joey Ryan. That match was my first PWG show. This guy took me, and he made a monster because I am hooked. I mean, I've seen the pay-per-views, I've watched it, but to be in that little shitty American Legion Hall, sweating your balls
Reseda,
off.
California.
That's
There's no
right.
place like
There's
it.
no place like it.
Yeah.
Do not take a shit in that restroom. But it was magic in there. Just to be around.
Kind of the old school ECW feel.
Yeah, it's just ravenous. Just passionate wrestling fans. Everybody's there because they love wrestling. Huge match. The Bucks were completely over. Oh, it was great. One of the greatest times of my life as far as going to a wrestling show.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, buddy. My wife was telling me, you went to WrestleMania and then you went to PWG and you're talking more about PWG. I was like, well, it's awesome to be one of 75,000 people at WrestleMania, but it's also cool to be one of 1,200 in a little shitty building.
Like it Lost in Universe?
Oh, man, it was great. I can't say enough about that match. That building, that All-Star Weekend was great. I thank you. Number 2 was Cena versus Sami Zayn. When Sami Zayn got his call up, if you want to call it that.
In Canada, right?
It was in Montreal. Yeah.
He was brought up by Bret Hart. Yeah.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I think, the hometown hero, even though he hurt himself before he even got in the ring and still put on a hellacious match against Cena. Cena gave him the standing O, and Sami Zayn got to be in the ring by himself afterward. Great. It's too bad Sami got hurt, but he is rebuilding like Seth Rollins. He is back, and we'll see if he can come to the main roster. We'll see. I think that was a great match. It showcased his talent, and I'm looking forward to 2016 to see more of Sami Zayn. And number 1, I'm going to go all the way to Tokyo, Japan.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to say Owens versus Balor.
Oh.
July 4th.
Was that a ladder match?
No. That was their first match for the title.
That's
when Beast in the East.
That's right.
Beast from the East. That was great. That was like a homecoming for Finn Balor to win in Tokyo.
Awesome match.
Awesome match. Yeah, I can't say enough about that match. That was great. There's been a lot of great matches, but I think that was so much drama and Kevin Owens throwing the flowers. It was awesome. Just heat. That was a great moment for me. I love that match. That's my top one of the year.
All right. I have 2 matches. The first one's gonna be from Lucha Underground, their final show, and that's gonna be Pentagon Jr. versus Vampiro. Vampiro coming out as the Dark Pope, and just that entrance alone had me hooked. And then to watch the match, and then he's telling Pentagon Jr. to break the arm, and he reveals that he's the maestro. That right there had me. That match was a telenovela right there, and I was hooked. I made popcorn. I loved it. Match number 2, which is actually my number 1 match. JBL said it best. It wasn't a great Divas match. It was a great match. And that was the Iron Woman match between Sasha and Bayley. I think anytime those 2 girls get together and they beat the shit out of each other, like I said, it wasn't a great Divas match. It was a great match. And that to me stood out, to quote JBL, that to me stood out as being like, oh, like shit, this is really a great match. And you're not going to say the diva word. Because they were on fire that night. They were great. And then presenting the flowers, and they were crying, and I was crying, and Triple H was crying. That I was a part of that right there, and I loved it, and I thought it was great. My girls were looking at me like, "Why the hell are you crying?" I'm like, you guys don't understand. You don't understand I'm watching Andre and Hogan face off right here. That to me was bad. I like that. That was to me was my match of the year.
Nice, good pick. Well, like I said, I got tons of notes here. I got tons of honorable mentions. So many great matches this year. I'm not going to get into them all, but
I think you wrote a book.
Mil Muertes versus Phoenix in the Grave Consequences match.
That was a great match.
That's probably the best casket match I've ever seen. It was when Muertes was slamming Phoenix's head into the metal grate. Awesome. Owens and Cena's first match at Elimination Chamber. Just to see Owens beat Cena like clean like that was.
And I don't want
awesome.
me to interrupt you because you didn't interrupt me. But when Cena looked at Owens and the camera shows him and he says, "You belong here," and Owens is like, "Fuck you! You're not gonna tell me I belong here." That was awesome right there. I love that.
That was awesome. I think Ibushi Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 9 was unbelievable. Finn versus Owens at Beast in the East. I have Sasha and Becky Lynch at TakeOver. That match is kind of skipped over because of all the Bayley-Sasha matches, but Becky Lynch really came into her own that night.
She's a workhorse.
The Fatal 4-Way between the 4 Horsewomen at TakeOver Rival. Those were all absolutely great matches. My top 3, though, actually it's 4 because number 3 is a tie. Number 3 is a tie. The third best match of the year is a tie. Only because these were both great matches. completely different, but they both made me feel the same way, and they made me have that love for wrestling.
Butterflies.
The first one being Pentagon Jr. and Vampiro, that Ultima Lucha. That match was awesome. Pentagon Jr. became a star in my mind.
Oh yeah.
You know, he has so much charisma without even speaking English. You know, he does so much. He's hardcore as hell. I mean, he just loves that stuff. And seeing Vampiro was one of my favorites back in WCW.
Yeah, coming out with the Misfits and the pain.
Right.
Oh man.
So seeing Vampiro return was awesome. So that was tied for number 3 with Zack Sabre Jr. and Roderick Strong. Like I mentioned earlier, Don't Sweat the Technique. Man, those guys, like I said, completely different match than this one. They went 20, 30 minutes of just technical wrestling. I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. is one of the best in the world. I already told you how I feel about Roderick Strong. Those two guys put on a wrestling clinic. So if you guys want to watch an absolutely great technical match, Roderick Strong and Zack Sabre Jr.
Can we find it on YouTube?
No, well, if you do, you're an asshole, because PWG doesn't...
That's right. That's why I threw it out there. I knew.
PWG...
Order the DVDs.
Yeah, it's just the bread and butters in their DVDs. So,
support them. Support indie
I own it.
wrestling.
Anyone wants to borrow it, hit me up. It's a great match. Number 2 best match of the year goes to John Cena, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins, the triple threat match at Royal Rumble. We're going back to January. That was first
year ago.
First big pay-per-view of the year, and they killed it. Like I mentioned earlier, that was Rollins' coming out party. First big main event. Did an awesome job. Proved he belonged in the main event.
On paper, it looked shitty to me.
Yeah.
On paper, I was like, what?
Lesnar, beat the shit out of them. And then they turned it around on him. Cena slamming him through the guardrail, and then Rollins doing that elbow off the top to the table, breaking his rib, so he finished the match with a broken rib.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great match. And then Seth Rollins doing the Phoenix Splash was something we'd never seen from him before in WWE, so that was awesome. And my number 1 match of the year is also Sasha versus Bayley, but not the Iron Woman match. Their first match at Brooklyn, NXT Brooklyn, when Bayley won the title.
That was a great match.
That match, talk about getting you in the feels, man.
Yeah,
that match.
That's true. It made me cry.
That match was awesome. They tore the house down. It wasn't the main event, but it stole the show.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even remember how Balor and Owens' ladder match was. Because,
That's how much that match stood out to you.
That match stood out so much more to me. Bayley finally won the big one. What we thought was going to be Sasha's last match in NXT, they ended up doing the Iron Man match. But at the moment, Sasha's last match in NXT, they tore the house down. They kicked ass. They proved that women's wrestling is not just women's wrestling. It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling. Yeah.
And there was no other match for me this year that beats that one. That was number 1 on any level for me. Just complete story, complete effort, complete everything. It was a total A+ match for me. So that was my match of the year.
Good job.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome countdown, if you want to call it that. So we're going to jump to next year. We're in the DeLorean. We got the time circuits on. The time circuits are on. Let's go to 2016 and who or what to watch in 2016. I'm going to say I might not have 3. I've been debating this all week. We were told to come up with these,
Dan called us and told us to do homework.
I did mine. This guy has no notes.
Do homework.
I took notes.
But I'm going to say things to watch for in 2016. In no particular order is the return of Cesaro.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
I can't wait to see him back in the fold. I think he was just getting it started.
Man.
I don't know if he's going to team with...
I think Vince heard him.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to team with Tyson Kidd or even if he's going to return, but I would love to see them back together. I would love to see him push as a singles wrestler. I think he needs to win that brass ring that Vince keeps talking about.
This title right here.
Oh, I would love to see this.
time
I would
is
see
on?
him,
Oh, yeah.
win the world title. I would love to see matches, him versus Seth Rollins, maybe for the world championship. Another wrestler to look for in 2016 is Kevin Owens. I think it's going to be Kevin Owens' year.
You think so?
Yeah.
2015 was a great year. Even going back to the end of 2014, that's kind of when it started for Kevin Owens. But I think Kevin Owens is going to be, it's going to be his year in 2016. And I'm going to say the promotion to watch for in 2016 is going to be NXT.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see more takeover specials, maybe not 12. Maybe if we can get 6, every other month, or, we got 4 right now, and it's great for character building and great for storylines, but, maybe you can make NXT 2 hours instead of 1 every week, but, I'm just saying, I would love to see more NXT. I can't get enough of it. I love Breaking Ground. We love Breaking Ground.
Love Breaking Ground.
I hope so too. That's what to watch in 2016 is going to be NXT for me.
Cool.
All right. Promotion to watch, hands down, Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground, everything those guys are doing and those girls are doing, Evilise, kicking ass with those guys. It's magic. I love it, and I think it's great, and that's promotion to watch. And stars to watch in the future, I agree, Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is up there, and he's going to have a phenomenal, I think he's going to have a phenomenal year.
I think he's ending the year great with that down on
Dean
Neville
Ambrose.
And Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
I think that clothesline that he gave Neville.
Oh, man. Turned him inside out.
Inside out. That was great.
Yeah.
I think I totally agree with you on that one.
Another guy to watch, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is back.
Just don't do that. And he did it. When he came back,
He did do it. Big Dave mentioned Cesaro. I love to see Cesaro back and have some matches on the main roster with Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Man, they stole the show. Every time they got together, they were awesome. They were fire. Sami Zayn, he's one to watch. And my third pick, one to watch, he's the NXT champion right now, and I can see him going WrestleMania. Finn Balor. Finn Balor needs to get up there. Break that glass ceiling and go there, and I think he can run with the ball. He's money. You can put him in Japan, you can put him in Mexico, you can put him anywhere you want to put him, and the demon will rise. I think he's bad. Finn Balor, one to watch. What do you think, Dan?
Well, my first one you guys mentioned already, but I'll show you anyway who I think is going to be one to watch.
When he came in the door, you would tell a fact.
He walked in like this.
I can't get it out. Right here.
Nice shirt.
Oh man,
Cesaro,
isn't that the one you got?
I did get him that shirt.
I'm wearing
for
the
Christmas.
one that he got me for Christmas,
for Christmas.
and he's wearing
And I'm wearing
the shirt that he got him for Christmas.
Oh, my wife got it for me.
Oh, I thought it was I'm an asshole.
Anyway,
One of his Italian.
Cesaro, I think his return is going to be huge. I think that they being the people in charge are going to see how much people miss Cesaro and how big his return is going to be. And I think he's probably going to get his push this year. I mean, this is probably wishful thinking, but I can see him returning and being a main event player this year. He's going to be he's sorely missed, and I know his return is going to have a huge pop. And can't wait to see him come back even stronger than ever.
I'm gonna say he comes back the night after WrestleMania.
Could.
I'm gonna call it right now.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
So I think he's gonna add to his arsenal. Maybe with his swing, he's also gonna do his airplane spin, which would be awesome. So I think Cesaro is one to watch this year. Second being Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle is awesome. Already kills it in PWG. I'm sorry, in Ring of Honor. Already kills it in New Japan, and now just made his return. Sorry, spoiler alert if anybody was going to watch All Star Weekend, but he just made his return to PWG All Star Weekend. One of the loudest pops I've ever heard in that building. It was awesome to see him come back. I think he's gonna.
I think my head hit the ceiling when I was jumping up.
I think he's gonna win the title in Ring of and PWG. I think he's gonna continue winning stuff in in PWG. Ring of Honor, continuing winning in New Japan, and he's gonna have a phenomenal year. And I could see him going to NXT.
I would love it.
That'd be great.
So,
Red Dragon in NXT. Oh my god!
And my number one to watch in 2016 is you mentioned him earlier, Timothy Thatcher. That guy is
He's a badass.
He's a legit badass.
I'm afraid of him, and he's bad.
He's awesome in the ring. He, we've talked about him before on this show. He might not have the personality that some guys have, but his in-ring work is.
He's a shooter.
He's untouchable.
He's an old school throwback.
He's doing great. He's getting, I don't know if he still is, but he was the champion in Evolve this year. He's going to continue growing in Evolve, and with their relationship in WWE, with WWE and NXT, I can see him going there. They just announced he's going to be doing a tour of Germany. He's all over the world, man, and I would love to see him wrestle in Japan. I don't know if that's going to happen. I would love to see that. So Timothy Thatcher is one
Take
to
on some King of Strong Style.
Please keep your eyes on Timothy Thatcher this year.
We've had the pleasure of seeing him a couple times this year, and it's been nothing short.
And I do. That was my number one. But the other thing, these guys I want to mention, they're gonna blow up this year. I think they're gonna be absolutely great in 2016. Is these guys right here?
Is this the last?
This is the last one.
Last shirt.
But these guys right here are gonna rule 2016. They're gonna be all over, so make sure you keep an eye out for them. These guys.
Oh, the black.
That's money right there.
Right here, baby. 2016 is gonna be the year these guys are here. So make sure you keep watching.
I got me blushing right here.
right.
And speaking of Ring Crüe shirts, I noticed you guys don't have Ring Crüe shirts on.
You said Christmas. So.
Yeah. Well, I just want to give you guys a little something. I brought this over.
Well, I didn't bring you anything.
I know.
It's all right.
He's got like a bag over here.
You can't find them. Why can't I find them?
There's so many shirts over
here. Make a blanket with all his shirts.
Here we go. I just want to present to you guys our brand new logo Ring Crüe shirts. Check them out.
Oh, man.
Oh man, these are like Balor-esque.
Look,
Balor Club inspired Ring Crüe shirts.
Man,
designed by yours truly.
Got the
RC in the back.
I love it.
I love this. Thank you so much, man.
There you go, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will gladly wear these on the next episode.
Absolutely.
All of us, because this guy's always complaining that one or none of us are wearing the shirt. So
those are our new Ring Crüe shirts.
I'm going to put this on right now. Can I push it off for here? I've got a tank top on those.
These are our new Ring Crüe shirts for 2016. If anybody wants them, hit us up.
If you want the original black and mustard,
put them in the comments. We'll send you one.
Or Balor style. We're gonna call this Balor style.
That's our Balor style.
That's our Balor style Ring Crüe shirt, and that's awesome. Cool. Thank you.
It's been a hell of a year for us. 2015. We went to a lot of great shows. We went to WrestleMania, Lucha Extreme in Fresno, WWE live event for my birthday. Thanks to these guys. Fighting Spirit Pro, Pro Wrestling Revolution, Pro Wrestling Bushido, PWG All-Star Weekend, amazing. We want to thank a lot of guys that have helped us out this year. Brian Cage, Jeff Cobb, Christina Von Airy, Johnny Plinko, Swade Thompson, Bobby Hart, Ryan McQueen, the brand new All-Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Reno Scum, TJ Perkins, and how could we forget Daniel Torch, who did an awesome thing for your daughter Mackenzie for her birthday. And we want to, of course, thank TNA World Tag Team Champion Eddie Edwards. Thanks for filming for us. Thanks for hanging out with us. We thank you. Hopefully next year we can see more of you guys. Hopefully we can get some more interviews. I can only imagine that 2016 is going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
Especially living here in our area. We have stuff in the north, stuff in the south. So stay tuned. And as always...
Oh, I'm sorry. I got one more thank you. And that's to all of our viewers.
Oh, absolutely.
All of our likes.
How could I forget?
Everyone that supports us.
Everybody
we thank you guys.
Us on Instagram,
I don't want to say fans. I don't want to give myself a big head, so I don't want to call you guys fans. All of our
crew members.
All of our friends and all of our crew members. There we go, baby. Yeah. All
and
of
our families. How can we forget?
And our families for putting up with us and for having to sit here with us for an hour as we do this. Thank you.
So yeah, thanks guys. It's been great. It was a little small idea that we had, and now we're 12 episodes deep. So, as always, do what you do, but whatever you do, don't mess with 2015 and the crew. We will see you next year.